If you're going to be successful, you got to set a standard higher than anybody else can set for you. What's going on, guys? It's Josiah, your success consultant, and in today's video, I want to show you why the reason why you may not be successful is because you're comfortable living other people's standards. And the true breakthrough on you having the best life possible is for you to set a standard for yourself without anyone else that's so high that nobody else could possibly think to set those standards for you. So the first thing that I want you to understand is this. This is just real talk. People don't have more planned out for your life than the plans that you need to have for yourself. Your boss doesn't have more planned for your life to grow than you can have for yourself. Anybody, your family, your friends, whoever, they might have certain ideas on where your life could go, but nobody else is going to have more plans on how far your life needs to go but you and you alone. Only you know that. You know your true gifts. You know your true talent. You know that if you put in the work and if you got passionate enough behind something, you know that you could be the best of the best. So if you let other people try to dictate your life for you, you're never going to be as great as you could possibly be. I'm going to say that again. If you let other people dictate your life for you, what type of job you should have, what you should go to school for, what you should do, what you should think, who you should be. If you always let other people do the deciding for you, you're never going to go as far as you can possibly go, because the plans and the intentions that people have for you is not what you could have for yourself. You know, when I was growing up, obviously people were very well intentioned for me and they had high hopes and dreams and aspirations. But I don't think that anybody, especially since the internet wasn't even around during that time, I don't think that anybody could envision exactly what I'm doing in my life right now to the T. People might have certain intentions for your life. People might be able to see one facet of your life, but maybe they don't see the other angles. They might be able to see, well, you know what? This person is really good at this. They should do this. But they don't see the full picture. Only you see the full picture in your life. You see how far you could go in terms of your career, how far you could go in terms of your health, how far you could go in terms of your finances, how far you could go socially, and so on and so forth. Only you really know these things. So if you're waiting on your boss, your parents, your friends, your spouse, whoever, to set a standard for your life, you're playing a losing game. You've got to go out and you got to have so much belief within yourself. You got to be able to see things within yourself that other people can't see, but you're going to prove it to them by your actions. You're going to prove it to them by your performance. You're going to prove it to them by your diligence, okay? This is the time where you need to be believing in yourself. You need to be mapping out how far you can go. And that's the reason why the second point of this video is you need to be able to imagine yourself at the end of your life. Now, I know that can sound very morbid. I know that you could be like, damn, Uzziah, you know, I'm having a good day. Why are you going to bring that into the equation? Well, think about this on the flip side. How many people never take the time to think about what they want their life to look like before it's all said and done? And as a result of which, they get to the end of their life and they're in so much misery and so much sorrow because they had all of these dreams that were left unaccomplished. They had all of these gifts that were left unfulfilled. They had all of these regrets about things that they wish that they spent more time doing, people that they wish they spent more time being around, places that they wish that they would have gone, all of these other different variables that never took place in their life, all because of the fact that they did not begin with the end in mind. That's one of the most effective habits out of the 7 habits of highly effective people, is beginning with the end in mind. If you don't know what your life is ultimately going to become before it's all said and done, how are you ever really going to be able to walk every day towards your success? See, when it comes to my personal life, I already know exactly what I want my life to look like before it's all said and done. I have clear pictures across multiple areas. So my day-to-day operations is just me sculpting away at being able to make that masterpiece that I want my life to represent. Every single day when I'm putting in work, I'm not unclear about what I should do, where I should go, how I should move forward. None of these things are a guessing game for me because I'm already thinking farther ahead about the direction that I'm going. All I have to do now is just walk the steps and stay the course. So that's what I want you to be able to do. I want you to be able to think about what type of person do you want to become before it's all said and done. What type of people do you want in your life? What will you have wanted people to say about you after you're gone? Because these become some of the most important variables for you to focus on in your life right now, while you still have the energy, while you still have the time, while you still have all the resources this very day to be able to get things going. Okay? You're not getting any younger. Today is the youngest that you've ever been. So why not take the time right now to actually decide what your life is going to look like? Because you know what's going to happen when you decide that? That's going to dictate the type of standards that you need to be able to have in order for you to actually accomplish those goals. So I give you an example. If you say that by the end of your life, you want to have created enough wealth to give to your children and to your family and to your community and other organizations, well, then that means that you need to start installing standards right now that's going to help you get to those goals. Because if you have standards that goes against getting to those goals, that's going to be counterproductive towards you reaching that destination, then what's going to happen is you're never going to get those end results. Imagine if you said right now, you know what, I want to be able to be a professional basketball player. This is just hypothetical. I'm speaking in terms of career, but I'm making an example that you can easily understand. If you said that you want to be a professional basketball player and, maybe you want to win a championship. Well, one of the things that I would think that you would have to have as a standard is training for a certain number of hours every day. Because with such a small percentage of people that actually get to the league from all across the world, there's got to be so much training and effort and focus and discipline and sacrifice that you put in every single day to be able to get to that destination. So if you are trying to hit the league, maybe shooting 1,000 free throws per day becomes your standard. Putting in an X number of hours of training or conditioning or weightlifting or diet per day, that becomes your standard. These are your daily standards that you follow after in order to be able to help you get to a place personally where you're the right person to reach your goal. Okay? So I want you to really, really understand what I'm getting at in this message. You could have all the dreams in the world. You could have all the gifts, you could have all the talents, but you're not going to get there until you set such a high standard for yourself that nobody else can really top it in terms of what they have planned for you. Again, I've had a lot of people that have come in my life that have, had thoughts and ideas and intentions and dreams, etc. But I'm harder on myself than they can ever be towards me, even if they don't see it. Because I still have to push myself to get up and do a video every single day. I still got to be able to train myself to work, to speak, to engage with my community, right? And I push myself in ways that other people on average would not expect the average person to want to push. I don't hold myself to average standards. I don't want average results. So if you want extraordinary results, you got to be able to push yourself to extraordinary standards, okay? And the last point that I want to bring out in this video, and hopefully by now you subscribe to this channel. If you've already subscribed, just feel free to share it with somebody else that could benefit from this information. The third thing that you really need to focus on is that you need to stop looking to everybody else, and you need to view yourself as your only competition. The only competition that you should see is the person that you were yesterday. When you try to compare yourself to what this person is doing, to what that person is doing, to what that person is doing, oftentimes that makes you lose focus about following after your destination. If you're so busy obsessing about this person's goals, what that person is doing, this other person's accomplishments, it can be very easy for you to get distracted. It could be very easy for you to be able to lose sight of the things that are intended for your life to be able to move forward. You can only live your life. You can only be the best version of yourself, because if you try to always look to somebody else, you're never going to be a better version of them. So what you need to do is block out everybody else really as the competition. The only competition is you. Because as I said in a previous video, what happens the day when you're looking to everybody else as competition, but you've just topped them, and now that you've topped them, you have no other incentive or motivation to be able to move forward because now you've topped them, right? So don't do that, because if you do that, who's to say that you've actually reached your full potential just because you passed somebody else's? Just because you passed somebody else's best, it doesn't mean that that's your best. You will only be able to get to your best if you are operating with yourself as the only competition. So you look at yourself from yesterday and you say, how can I be a better person today? You look at last year's performance, how can I top it? You look at your last performance. Well, you know what? What things can I fine tune? What things can I tweak? What things can I focus on that if I just refine this one piece here, if I just make this small adjustment right there, that's going to make pretty much every difference that I need to be able to get the success that I want to be able to have. All these principles are so important and so critical in any type of career development and training, because a lot of times, whether you're a 9-to-5 worker or whether you're a business owner, you're always going to be looking on the outside. You're always going to be looking at, oh, well, you know, this person has this career, so if I get that career too, then I guess that I made it. You know, you might look at somebody right now and saying, okay, well, that person is making 6 figures and I want to be able to make 6 figures through their career path just like them. But how do you know that that path is really for you? And how do you know that just because of the fact that that was somebody else's peak, that that's your peak? You could go farther beyond that. But if you never take the time to set standards for your own life, to map out where you want your life to go before it's all said and done, how will you ever be able to get to your true potential and true success? All right, so I want you to leave me a comment below, and I want you to tell me, I am my only competition. This is so important for you, because if you don't realize this in your life, you're always going to look to somebody else, and your goals, your ideas are going to change with the wind. Nobody is coming in your life to set a higher standard for your life than that which you can make for yourself. People might love you, people might wish you well, people might have good intentions, but every successful person that's ever accomplished world-class success always held themselves to a higher standard of success than anybody else that was around them. Henry Ford held himself to a higher level of success. Michael Jordan held himself to a higher level of success. Steve Jobs held himself to a higher level of success. Anybody that's accomplished something world class in this life has allowed themselves to go to places far beyond the imagination and the expectations of another person. So leave me a comment. Tell me you are your only competition, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.